is the North Carolina Food and Beverage Podcast, brought to you by Cisco. Cisco is here to help set you up for success by delivering high-quality foods, products, and services for your restaurant. Recording live to digital from the NCF&B studios in downtown Raleigh. Join us as we lead you into the kitchen, inside the bottle, and into the minds of the food and beverage industry.
Hello, and thank you for joining us on the North Carolina Food and Beverage Podcast. I am your host, Max Trujillo, and today we are off-site at Haven Farms in Knightdale, y'all. And we are here for a special reason. Today is the celebration of Roots for Reece, a charitable fundraiser that's been put together by a good friend of the show, previous guest, and actually in studio right now, Mr. Chef Blake Gottlieb. Hello. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. So, for one, this place is beautiful. We're going to have to show everybody on video what this really looks like. When you told me we were doing this thing at a farm, I just thought, cool, we're going to be like stepping in cow shit all over the place and kind of doing this forever. No, this is beautiful.
This is one of the wedding venues we work with. So
yeah. So thank you for inviting us over here. I am privileged as well to be a part of this because Roots for Reece started back in 2017, is that right?
yes.
I believe so. And at the time, you and I, we were working together at Standard Foods.
Yep.
And you were a sous chef. I pretended to be the general manager, and we were walking around. If you would be so kind to let everybody know, why are we all here? What's Roots for Reece all about?
Sure. So we're here to raise money for the North Carolina Harm Reduction Coalition. They're a 501c3 nonprofit leading the way in opioid overdose prevention and education. One thing that we specifically fund through our the money we raise here is free naloxone kits to any addict or family member in need. So we actually have a hotline set up that anybody can call 24/7, and somebody's there on the other end to pick up and deliver a kit. It's not going to be instant, but obviously there's a whole team out there ready to jump into action when it's needed.
And what does that kit do?
So naloxone is a life-saving opioid reversal. So basically it's a nasal spray now, and they administer it, and basically it hops on the opioid receptors and basically kicks off the opiates, and basically kind of wipes it clean.
And I'd be facetious, but why do you know so much about this plate?
Well, it saved my life on more than one occasion. I'll go into a little bit more in my speech later, but there's been a few times where I've overdosed and I was saved by naloxone. So it means a lot to me. It meant a lot to Reece. He was a huge proponent of harm reduction. He had a naloxone kit in his room when he was found, but unfortunately he was using it alone, so there was nobody there to administer it.
And so Roots for Reece, the way I remembered it from the beginning is even in our original relationship, you were a farmer that I knew, and you were growing vegetables and you were selling a lot of root vegetables, specifically two different places. I was the GM at Midtown Grill when we first met, and you were selling us vegetables. And I was like, this is great, cool, local farm, local farmer, and we started a relationship that way. And then as time went on and I moved over to Crafton, that's now, but I moved over to Standard Foods.
I'm going to skip over that.
It was a quick read, by the way, at least for me, all in about 5 months, although a lot happened during those 5 months. And so one of them was to create this. And so you were not only selling your vegetables as a farmer in the area, but you were also working as, I think you started off as you were a line cook and then a sous chef and then a butcher, and you kind of did
everything in Standard through all three versions.
Yeah,
or two
Scott
versions,
Crawford
sorry.
and
two of the versions. Yep.
Yeah. And we even do have some alum here. I know Justin Wright, I talked to him earlier, and he's going to jump on the mics and chat with us for a little bit as well. So we have some alum from back in that time. But I remember videotaping you actually serving the very first root dish to Reece's mom back in 2017 at Standard. And that was kind of the kickoff to really start getting a lot of this going. Back then, we were doing it where you were doing it where restaurants were buying your vegetables or receiving your vegetables, and then whatever root vegetable we came up with at the time, as I say the royal we as like restaurant people, we would then sell that to the community, and then whatever we made off of that would donate those those dishes, those proceeds would go to the organization. So how has it changed since then, and what has led us now to what this is?
Yeah, so they did jump over that. But yeah, we started out with the first fundraiser was just donating root vegetables, and restaurants made a couple dishes. I think we had like 7 or 8 participate that year.
Yeah.
And then we did a 5-course plated dinner under our oak tree at our house.
Yeah.
And we did that for I think 2 or 3 years straight. We did that with our fundraiser where we do a multi-course dinner, just have 30, 40 people, really intimate setting, do more kind of fine dining plates. And then as word got out in the industry, chefs started reaching out to me and wanting to participate. We got to the point where we just had too many to do a multi-course dinner. So I kind of jumped on the bandwagon of these food festival style events. So we went that route 3 years ago. It was the first time we did the big on food festival picnic style.
Yeah.
And it really took off, and we got a great live band. Breweries started jumping out. This year we've got 25 different places participating. So it's evolved tremendously, and it's amazing to me. The subject's still a little taboo, so we don't get all the support we need. But I think that as we continue to grow, we keep talking about it. We'll find it. Unfortunately, it's opiate addiction is hitting everybody. Middle class, upper class, it doesn't matter, everybody's getting affected by it. So it's super important what we're out here doing today.
And with that said, actually I was talking with my chef, Kyle Tears, yesterday about this. He's like, you should say at the top of the episode that, there's going to be some trigger warnings. There's going to be some things that might put someone not at ease, uncomfortable.
Yep.
Talk about addiction and talk about death and talk about heroin and overdose and all that. But this conversation does need to happen more often because it is a real epidemic, and it's unfortunately happening way too often, way too common. We do have sitting with us right now the guy that I was just talking to, Chef Kyle Tears. Hello, Chef.
Hello.
He's actually been here the whole time.
Yes.
Hello. So, Chef, you're one of many of the chefs that are participating here, but you also go way back. You go way back with Blake. For one, you guys have been buddies and all, but
I think the first time we met was actually at the Cooking for the Kids, right around there. That's when I kind of met him officially. We were actually competing against each other that time. This year, now
not this year.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like kind of what you're saying, we were talking yesterday. It's the opiate epidemic and people overdosing is a real thing. It's something we can just shut under the rug, Not talking about doesn't make it go away. And I was fortunate enough to never have to use Roxanne or anything like that. But I used to be a heroin addict, and it affects, like Blake said, every single person. Like every family probably knows someone at this point. And I was talking to my mom last night, and I think like one of the biggest differences is like the older generation. You might know 1 or 2 people throughout your whole life that overdosed or something like that. And now it seems like this younger generation, people my age or younger, it's like once a month, we know someone that overdoses or commits suicide, because of that. So, it's a real problem, and it's an honor to be a part of it. Blake invited me last year, and then invited me back this year. So, personally, it's, close to my heart, and it's just such a privilege to be here.
Yeah. Again, I appreciate y'all letting us be here. Matt Weiss normally would be here. He just couldn't make it today. So we're going to have a group of different people kind of step in, talk. We're going to get different chefs to come in and other people that are a part of this entire fundraiser to kind of share their, not only maybe some of the food that they're making, but also why they feel compelled to participate in this event. Before we get out of this segment, I also want to swing it over to, you've heard and you've seen Castle before on the podcast, but Castle also, unfortunately, knows way too much about this as well. You were a paramedic. Hello, Castle. Welcome.
Hi.
How are you? You had a previous life where you were a paramedic. What city were you the paramedic in?
San Francisco.
San Francisco doesn't have any problems with addictions or anything, right?
Definitely not Maryland, definitely not.
Yeah, it's been a slow day. I don't mean to make light, but come on, it's a heavy content right now. So maybe give me just a day in the life, or what you're as a paramedic, you're on you're in an ambulance, you're driving around. What's just a little bit of a day in the life of a paramedic in this capacity?
Yeah, in San Francisco, like, honestly, it's probably 90% just kind of like bullshit that, like, okay, you do, you handle, but it's not 911, it's not an emergency, and that's fine. You just do it. And then it's like an emergency, and it feels like panic, it feels like chaos, and you just like kind of rely on your lizard brain to be like, okay, these are the things I need to get done. But when you were asking, like, oh yeah, you probably don't like thinking about the times that you had to use Narcan, and I was like, actually, no, that one was okay for me, and like because although it's not, it's an emergency, and you feel like it's an emergency, but it feels like it's a controlled situation, because if you get there on time, and you can find a vein to start an IV, which you get to be kind of creative in that sense. It works every time, and there's different, there's different ways you can kind of like make light of that situation too, because it is hard, and you do see that one in San Francisco a lot.
Yeah.
But like I was telling you, and I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say this, and maybe you need to cut it out, but like if you push IV Narcan fast enough, the first thing the patient does is kind of sit up and then just projectile vomit, just everywhere.
Sounds about right.
Right? So if you're working with someone that, maybe you don't like get along with that well, or maybe he's been kind of treating you shitty that day, you just kind of hit it real quick, and you step back and let them deal with it.
That's like telling the new server, like, when you drain the iced tea machine about hot water, please.
Oh, actually, no, but that is one of those rite of passages. Like the first time you ever are on a call, like as a trainee, as an intern, whatever situation you're in, that will happen. The paramedics are on shift that day.
Yeah.
They'll hit it quick. And
man.
they'll just, and you don't know until you experience it.
I just want to touch on real quick what she said earlier, when she said that it works every time, which is just kind of crazy to think about, as a paramedic seeing that many times and what we're all here for. So like, it's not bullshit. Like, this is important, and it helps, and it saves lives.
Yeah, so that's like, it's kind of a wonder drug in a sense. It will pull you out of your whatever, your haze, your stupor, your overdose. It'll pull you out. It's not going to save you beyond that moment.
Now, that next step's up to you.
Right, and that's a big deal. But at the very least, and I know, Blake, you've told me before, I've heard this story, but I think your mom administered that to you at one point. And so it's like, yeah, it'll help you at some point, but if you don't figure out why you should get some real help, then it may not help you the next time or so.
And that's the beauty of it. It allows that opportunity. You got to hit your rock bottom, but most people don't make it there with heroin. You don't get that chance. You take too much, it's over. With naloxone, you have a chance to have a second chance at life. You come back, hopefully realize that you got to make a change.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break. Before we do that, on the lighter side of things, on the fun side of things, like, why would someone that either is into supporting this cause or just in support of food and beverage come to Reece? Who's here? What's happening? What are we doing?
We got a pretty amazing lineup this year. Like I mentioned earlier, we got 25 establishments here from the Umstead. We got the new Umbrella Dry Bar, mixing up some mocktails. We got William and Company, Revival out of Clayton, a new taco spot out in Mebane called Crafted, similar to Crafton, but Mebane Crafted. Sorry, yes, I should pronounce it better. Mebane Crafted. We got Luke Owens from Native Fine Diner drove up from Greenville. Justin Wright from Bidsfidge, local seafood, Lawrence Barbecue, Longleaf Wine, the Umstead, you name it, man. Here.
It's pretty amazing to see all this camaraderie coming around here. So I look forward to getting to speak to everyone, but more importantly, getting to eat all the food that's been provided. So thanks again. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back in a little bit.
Okay. We're going to pause now for a quick word from our proud title sponsor, Sysco.
Yeah. While Sysco is the leader in global food service, we want to highlight their commitment at the local level, doing good right here at home here in North Carolina, where food and beverage professionals live and work.
Last year, Cisco put $46 million towards giving back in local communities. They also donated 16 million meals worldwide and $1 million to the nonprofit Feeding America, helping local families in need. Here, where we are in North Carolina, 1 in 6 children faces hunger. So, this is crucial work.
Yeah, and Cisco also cares about protecting communities through sustainability, sourcing products responsibly, investing in electric vehicles, so supporting more than like 11,000 growers in their sustainable agricultural program, leading the way not just in food service, but in local responsibility and social responsibility as well.
Visit Sysco.com, that's SYSCO.com, to learn more about Cisco's impact on our local community.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Max. We are out here at Reece in Havens Farm in Knightdale, North Carolina, and we have a couple more folks joining us around the room. Let's whip it around. Justin, we've already said hello, and we've already mentioned you in the previous segment because you, me, and Blake, we got some history.
Yep.
I know your work ethic, man.
Yep.
I know that, yeah. No, I'm kidding. You're a great chef. You were working at Standard Foods back in the day when I worked there for a low 5 months, I guess. But during that time, it was cool. We did a lot, and there was a lot happening. And you've been a participant and a good friend of Blake's for years. So now, and for a while, you've been working with Chef Vivian Howard. We just mentioned you the other day as we went to Vivian's compound and spoke about it. Primarily, you're working with Viv's Fridge. Is that correct?
Yes.
So for those who don't know what Viv's Fridge is, just give us a quick 411 on that.
It's basically, we're just doing prepared meals. We're putting it in, she hates to describe it like this, but it's kind of like Redbox for food. We have smart fridges all across Eastern North and all around Raleigh.
Be kind, rewind. Yeah. No one gets that reference, sorry. Okay, it's an old man.
I do.
Blockbuster. Thanks, Larry. Larry helps me out here. Well, as we're doing that, and we'll jump back to you, but Larry, we got you over here from Double Barley. You're in Garner?
Smithfield.
Yes. That's right, Smithfield. Yeah, sorry, just kidding on that. So Larry Lane of Double Barley, great local brewery out here. I've been at the bottom end of your pints many a time. I will mention though, for today, I do love my alcohol, I do love my booze, but today, out of solidarity for what's going on, I am not going to consume anything other than food, just because it's just the vibe. That doesn't preclude anyone else from not having a beer.
Well, there's going to be plenty of great food to consume. So
yeah. So how are you connected to this whole deal?
Blake and I have known each other for a long time. We're both in the Smithfield area, and we participated in this from the very beginning. And it's just been it's just a great event. He does a tremendous job with all the support here, and this became very personal for us. We lost our son 3 years ago to overdose, and lost him twice before that, but Narcan saved him, and we got some more time with him, and it's still hard to talk about, but it's very personal for me, and I just think this is such an awesome event, and what they do, and what it stands for, and everybody participates.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. And so, yeah, this is it's been going on for about 6 years, although we evolved over the years from like a donation of food that turned into a plate, and then restaurants kind of participating, to now this big afternoon affair, which is really fantastic. And then we have another chef out here helping us out, Luke Owens. You're at Native in Greenville.
That's right.
Just so everyone knows, I said it facetiously and I hide nothing. I can never remember the difference between Greensboro and Greenville because I'm an idiot.
Green and green,
they're green. That's it. That's all I get.
Yeah.
But you also kind of fell off of the Vivian Howard tree a little bit. I mean, that's not. You're not her son or anything. But
No. But I was with her for quite some time. Yeah, I was CDC at Chef and the Farmer for some years, and Boiler Room, and had a great time there. Met my buddy Justin right here next to me there, and we worked together for a bit. And second, which is an incredible chef and driven and talented. So cool to be working with him on an event like this too.
Yeah, so tell us about Native though. That's a relatively new place. What's it like? I haven't been.
So Native is it's Native Fine Diner, and we're in a building that's a little over 100 years old. So kind of paying tribute to that with the aesthetic, mid-century modern design, and we do elevated takes on old diner classics. So we're putting out kind of new school diner food out in Greenville.
That sounds cool, man. Yeah, thanks to all of you guys for coming out here, and we're going to take a little pause. We're going to come back in a little bit. We're going to speak with others that are participating as well. So I appreciate y'all.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Let's kick it old school and go way back, Bill Hartley of Close to Seafood out there in Pittsburgh. You've been on the show way back when we were in Lambstock.
Way back, Lambstock, in the RV.
In the RV. And we've done events since then, both Matt and I, who is, instead of my co-host, I've now decided he's the no-host. Yeah, I'm the co-host. We've got a no-host. He's busy. I think he's golfing or something. Yeah, sorry about that, man. But Bill, you were here from Postal Seafood, and you obviously seafood is a big deal in your life. But talk to me a little bit about, for one, what are you cooking today?
So today, it's a hot day out here. I've got some lemonade pickled shrimp with some fresh greens.
That sounds delicious.
Nice and refreshing.
Yeah, well, and that sounds great. I appreciate it. But when we're talking about Roots for Reece, we know why we're here. We've kind of already gone through the whole point of it. But what brings you here? Like, why are you participating?
So Blake reached out last year. I participated last year, and it's a great cause. I've known many folks that have passed away to this disease, and I think this is a great thing and something that's definitely needed for this community.
It's unfortunate that it affects way too many of us in this industry, but so anyhow, in this room, as we're sitting here still talking, the gentleman to your side over here in his cool sunglasses, Mr. Kevin Hayes of Oro. Let's talk about the things that you're doing right now. You're at Oro, which is a staple in downtown Raleigh. What is like the cuisine of Oro?
Cuisine is kind of world flavors. The original chef owners from Jamaica lived in LA, DC, and then kind of brought me along to kind of revitalize the spot a little bit and maybe just give it some new flair and some new flavors that he hasn't been doing. And just trying to incorporate everything local and really just trying to have fun with it and have a good experience.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So, okay, with that said, what are you making today?
Sweet. Today we're going to be doing chicken oyster yakitori with a sofrito tare sauce and crushed plantains. So it's a little ode to, having grilled chicken skewers in Puerto Rico when I was growing up, and then I love Japanese food and their kind of flavor profile, so bringing that here using the binchotan coals and the Japanese grill to kind of get that same vibe, but just a little bit different.
Is it okay to say fusion? Is that like
that's a hot button subject.
We just say contemporary American. It's just kind of a cop out.
Nah, I can't say that either.
Oh, I say that all the time.
Wait, say that again. I had your mic down. Say that again.
Contemporary American.
Contemporary American. That's just kind of encompasses all things.
Yeah, upscale, casual, contemporary American. It means nothing and everything at the same time.
Thank you. And
It's a whitewash term. I don't like it.
wow.
Be more specific.
Well, so that new voice that we're hearing right now, Mr. Bobby McFarland. You and I, we've gone way back. We have been in the trenches in various restaurants. I don't know. I guess to say this right. When Waiho was first starting, we needed somebody that could be the chef consultant to get that thing off the ground, and that was part of my task, was finding the right team. And I found you. You were a buddy anyhow, but now you have continued on. You've done quite a lot with Waiho. Tell us what's been going on at the place. Like, where is Waiho right now? You've opened up a few new places.
Yeah.
What's been happening since last we've talked?
Yeah, I mean, we opened Glass House last summer. They're actually setting up behind me. They have their own bike. Today I'm here representing Waiho, which has just been crushing, as always. That patio never misses. It's been really good. We just opened a sandwich shop called Twisted Ladder, really close to Glass House, right off Davis Drive.
Yeah.
And I always feel like I'm staying busy. So
yeah. And you're sometimes also out there in Utah, helping out the Morrison clan, because they've got restaurants out there too, right?
Yeah, that's right. His parents are actually here today, so it's a whole family affair. But I work with Brian out there. We have one restaurant operating and two in the pipeline. So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So what are you doing today? You kind of got double duty. You got beer and food, right?
yeah, so we got a few brews and hard seltzers from White Hill, and we have a dish that I thought would be easy in my head, but I think we put about 16 hours into it over the last few days. We made a sweet potato sausage, kind of a play on a Scandinavian potato sausage. We tried to localize a little bit. We bought some milk, which was definitely raw milk. We made a farmer's cheese out of it, so it's going on the bottom of the plate. Hit the market for some marinated veg, sausage on top. Reduced the whey from the cheese making process to make a whey cheese, which we blended in butter and made a compound butter. Fried biscuits with sweet potatoes to garnish. So we a little bit too much work into this dish. I'm kind of tired just talking about it, and I'm kind of dreading having to put it together right now.
Bobby called me and was like, I just want to run this dish by you. I was like, bro, what? Granted, we're also doing it for Chef Showdown, right?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, so
double duty.
Oh, that's right. So tell me a little bit about that. You're going to be at the Chef Showdown as well?
Yeah, doing that exact same dish.
Oh, so copycat or
copy myself.
you copied yourself?
You call it copycat, I call it mise en place efficiency.
I don't think anyone's going to be buying that. No, that's
Fine-tuning.
awesome. Yeah, no, that's cool. Any like last words as far as like your participation with Reece for Reece? Is there anything like that specifically compels you? I mean, I know that you and Blake are friends, but anything beyond that that kind of helps you here and helps you with the event?
You know, Blake's a good buddy, like you said, and you know, addiction takes many forms and affects a lot of people. So I think just raising awareness and compassion for any cause like that can really impact anybody in a moment's notice in their lives. Coming from the Northeast, where that is really, you know, the opiate epidemic is really taking hold. So, you know, it's a cause near and dear to my heart. So I'm happy to be with such a great community and represent.
I'll finish with one real important, solemn thing to say, and it's about salt. Diamond Crystal and Morton's.
Diamond Crystal.
Morton's for life.
Diamond Crystal, come here.
No, Diamond Crystal makes salt for roads. I just want to say that.
Wait, hold on.
So does Morton's.
They make road salt.
Chef Bill, you're going to be the tiebreaker.
Diamond Crystal.
Yo, call Kyle Tears over here. Go get Kyle Tears.
Interview's over. This is been a great segment. Thank you so much.
I'm breaking the microphone. I'm leaving.
That's the only one that works.
Not that my opinion really matters, but I am a Diamond Crystal guy as well. So
This is the last one.
thanks, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
God damn it! I can't believe you just did that.
Hey everybody, in closing, I appreciate you all listening to this episode. I do realize that some of the audio was a little rough due to an event happening while we're trying to record a podcast. So I appreciate it if you made it this far. And if so, you know who you are and I'm speaking to you directly. Tonight's event was similar to other events like our Bubbles and Brisket event or so. We had chefs, we had the bars, we had breweries, we had people, influencers, the band, the music. We had it all. But there's something that happened in this event that's different than most events, and that's the soul. There was a lot of soul here tonight, and I really appreciate it. It's about this hospitality world, this food and beverage world that we all live in. If you're a part of it, you also know we're misfits. We're the misplaced. Many of us don't have that strong family structure that allow us to feel like we belong, so in turn, we actually feel like we're alone, but we're not. We have our community, this community, and maybe, hopefully, that's all we really need. A support staff of people that move through this life in a similar fashion and understand each other's plight equally. Let's be honest, this industry is tough, and specifically because we serve the public. We are constantly judged with every move we make and every smile we don't provide. We work extra long hours, especially when someone doesn't show up, and we rejoice when we get a nice 20% tip. We're constantly at the mercy of what the public gives us, and we have to like it no matter what. It's our job. Reece is one of our own. Reece is us, and unfortunately, Reece is a person that exists in every restaurant, in the front of the house, the back of the house, the cleaning crew, a delivery person, fast food joint, late night bar, a commissary, the wine rep, the liquor rep, a farmer, a distiller, a brewer. You get the point. Well, we love our people in this industry and we protect them as much as we can. But sadly, we don't live every moment together, and sometimes we're left alone. And it's in those times that I hope that the individual knows that they do have a support team that truly loves them and cares about them. Every time someone is alone, they have the freedom to make a decision without their support staff. Anyone listening that might have a similar issue, just know that I'm here. You know, Matt's here, Blake Gottliff is here, any of the folks that participated at this event, they're here. And also people in your community, people that you work with and your friends, they're here. Even though you think you're alone, you are not. It is important to know that whatever you're feeling, it's temporary. But the love in this community exists beyond today. So let's make better decisions, but let's also know that we are loved. And if you feel compelled to reach out to a friend who you feel is going through some of these rough times, do it. Reach out for no other reason than just you have love for them. This is me checking in with you, and I hope you're well. Take care.
They called 911, and luckily paramedics were close by and arrived within minutes. They administered an naloxone shot that saved my life. I wish I could say that was the last time I overdosed, or even used heroin for that matter, but it wasn't. It took another overdose and another miracle, this time waking up in my mom's arms, with her crying and pleading for my life. Unfortunately, that's what it takes. That's how powerful opiate addiction really is. It takes hitting rock bottom to realize you need to change, but you must stay alive in order to do so. And with how heroin is now, addicts don't stand a chance. So through your support today and the hundreds of naloxone kits we will fund from this event, a better life will be possible for so many in desperate need. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you.